This illustration deals with safety interlocks. I would like to refer you to some sections before we get into the requirements of this illustration, but I'd like to refer you to 130.4G for a person that's dealing with a restricted approach boundary on page 25. 120.2D on page 21 covers interlocks when you're trying to place a piece of electrical equipment into electrically and safe work condition. Next, I'd like to refer you to 205.8 on page 42, which deals with properly maintaining safety interlocks so that they work properly when they are needed to perform a certain function. Now, the purpose of this change, this section has been renumbered and relocated as well as revised to reference 130.4G there on page 25 that we mentioned for requirements where employees are working inside the restricted approach boundary. Now, if we review the electrical equipment here, it does have interlocks, and we have it listed here, 120.2D and 130.8N on page 21 and 40. And of course, this cover has an interlock that deals with placing into electrically safe work condition in accordance with 120.2 and 70E on page 21. And of course, this worker is qualified as defined in Article 100 of 70E on page 13. But notice a properly trained, qualified person can bypass an engineered interlock in accordance with 120.2D, as in dog, and 130.8N on page 21 and 40 of the NEC, 70E approximately. Now, the lock and tag out requirements we'll find in Article 120 of 70E, as well as the Annex G, which gives you a guideline for locking and tagging out electrical equipment. And of course, OSHA addresses these hazardous energy type energy sources that we have to lock and tag out or in some manner, dismantle in some manner, in accordance with 1910.147. Now, that's what this illustration is pointing out, is that any time a safety interlock is bypassed for any reason, for troubleshooting, whatever it may be, and remember 130.2C, as in car on page 24, and 110.4A and B on page 15 allows you as a qualified person to bypass an interlock energized for troubleshooting and some of those reasons that are listed in those sections just given. So safety interlocks is discussed in 130.8N as well as 120.2D and 205.8. Now, if you review these sections very careful, then you should find the information that you need when you're working with interlocks on electrical equipment for any reason that are listed in these sections.